Welcome to a possible first episode of a new show that literally I thought about years ago. At least maybe two and a half years ago, just before the pandemic hit, I was considering doing this show. But I put it on the shelf because I wasn't sure how I was going to do it, and then the pandemic hit, then I just forgot all about it. So this is a possible show due to the fact some people are asking me a Double or Nothing. Am I going to do a preview of it? Or would you check out this and MLW or old WWE stuff? This is a concept I had almost 2.5 years ago to do a show that is exclusively about retro wrestling. Anything that came out from the 70s, 80s, 90s, 2000s, either a show or a pay per view or match, or just to talk about someone from the past. Retro wrestling reviews is just basically reviewing something from then. Now, I don't know if this is going to take off. I don't know if it's going to be anything. And due to the fact that I have not been myself, as I've said, my anxiety has been bothering me a lot more lately due to the fact that several situations has happened. And I'm not going to explain it. It's just, it's been rough for me for a while now. But essentially, I don't want to just give up. I want to try and inspire myself. And maybe, hopefully, if anyone has problems like me, who has suppressing anxiety or depression or anxiety, and hopefully inspire them to try. Because, trust me, getting inspiration, it is not easy. Doing it by yourself, it's even harder. It's almost impossible, baby. I can tell you, it's not easy. I do 2 channels. One for wrestling, one for animation, and my animation suffered. It is not easy. If you've seen my animation channel, I actually have one video up that's almost like 10 days old that is about, it has trans music in it with dancing. I don't know if I'll leave a connection below if you guys want to take a look at it. You can check it out for yourself. Maybe I will leave a connection along with the connection of what this is. And this is a match from ECW 1994, I believe. What did I write on my own video? Because I had the video of the incident, not the match itself. And that is a Singapore cane match of, I believe, August 30th, 1994. I was 23 years old when it happened. It was one of the few times I seen some TV that I actually saw the end of the match, after the match. So I believe I saw the end of the match. I don't remember if I saw the beginning of it. Like I said, it was rare for me to even watch TV at the time. I was going to technical college, and my mother had just died, and it was very difficult for me to watch anything. So I believe I saw the match, or at least what happened afterward. I could be wrong, because the most recent memory I have is maybe around 2012, 2013, when I saw the ending of the match. So it's a possibility I could have been the first, or it could be a repeat of what I did see, because I kind of vaguely remember watching a little bit of wrestling back then. I think at least a couple of snippets of ECW was more WCW and WWF. Kind of hard to remember exactly. But whether I saw it in 2012 or 13, or saw it in the in the 90s, this match had a very strong story connected to it. Sandman, who has gone and done anything he wanted to do, and his partner, woman, who was Nancy Benoit. If you don't know who she is, I'm sure you're going to Google it, because you'll know who the Benoit name is. But before she officially got married to Chris, but she probably knew him pretty well because they were in a relationship, maybe in a relationship by that time, of the late 90s going into the 2000s, you clearly had a story that Sandman was getting up over a Tommy Dreamer, very young at the time. And there was a decision made due to the fact of what happened in Singapore, where one guy did something stupid and he got 10 lashes from a kendo stick, an official one that they would use in that country. They would use a kendo stick to beat you with. That was back in the 90s. So they came up with the concept of this match, where if Tommy loses, he will be hit 10 times with a Singapore cane or a kendo stick. That's what they would call it. Now, unlike many years, and I know many people say, well, why are we caring so much about this? This is something that's going on for years. No. We've had Singapore. I would say Singaporean. I'm thinking about porn. Singapore cane matches in WCW, well, not WCW, and TNA, they had one, at least a couple. WWE had one, but not in the format that this match is. You had matches where there had been Singapore kendo sticks included, and they call it a Singapore cane match, but it does not have the same concept as what Tommy Dreamer and Sandman did. This is not about just grabbing a kendo stick off of a pole or anything and just start beating your opponent with it. This is about a specific thing that if the opponent loses, they got to stand there and they got to get 10 hits from a cane. They must get 10 hits from a kendo stick. Flat out, no questions asked. They show that they can take it. Because Sandman said to Tommy he's nothing but a pretty boy. He can't do the damn thing. So Woman was made to be the stand-in for Sandman. So if Tommy doesn't want to get bit and hit and cut and gouged by that kendo stick, he must get on his hands and knees and kiss her feet. Because the match itself, I don't really remember. It's not the point. The only thing we do know is that Sandman cheated. It was obvious. And the commissioner, Todd, tried to reset the match. Because everyone in that arena, including him, saw that Sandman cheated. It was flat out a cheat. He won because he cheated. It was obvious. He won. But the point is that Todd tried to reset the match, and you hear Joey Styles in the background saying, "This is not fair. We have rules here. We do justice." And Todd comes in and says, "You know what? This is wrong. We are restarting the match. It is unfair to you, Tommy. We want a clean match." And you can hear Joey Styles say, "That's right. You let them know. This is the way it's supposed to be." And Tommy says, No. I wanted this match no matter what it was. I'm going to take my beatings. I am a man. So he leans up on one of the ring ropes, the top ring rope, and he stands there, bent over like getting into the bent position in hazing. Get ready to get your ass whooped. And he waits for a Sandman to hit him with the kendo stick. You see Woman walk up to him and say, "Tommy, you don't need to do this. You can avoid this." Now, let's make this clear. Did Nancy, Woman, act very well? No. She was not a very great actress. She's not. Gorgeous looking woman. Anybody would love this woman. I believe Rick Montel was actually her man at one point. I believe, before Chris. I could be wrong, easily. But who could not fall in love with that woman? She is like, boom! That's how hot she was. But she made it very clear. "Tommy, you don't need to do this. The only thing you need to do," and she's wearing high heel shoes and a nice tight dress, put her foot out and says, "Tommy, the only thing you need to do is grovel, get on your hands and knees and kiss my feet." And he pretty much says, "Hell freaking no, I'm taking my beatings." And he stands there, and as the Sandman whoops his ass the first couple of times, he takes it. The first one, it hurt. But he stood there and he took it. Second one began to hurt a little bit more. The third one began to hurt and begins to start really crunching himself up. By the fifth to the sixth one, he falls down onto the ring. I think a fifth or a sixth. By the seventh, after he pulls himself up, he takes another hit. He goes down under the ground. 8, 9, and finally the hardest hit was number 10. 9 and 10 was the hardest. He took that, he stood back up, and he was completely over with the fans. He faces the Sandman dead in the face, and he's saying, "Is that all you got? Is that all you got? I can take more than that. Is that all you got?" And if you've seen the rise and fall of ECW, the DVD set, and you see the video, I believe it's on the video as well, you can see Sandman's lip quivering. It was so emotional. Even he felt it. This is what I've been trying to relay to people for years when I talk about Impact Wrestling and doing a Singapore cane match. It's not about just having the match of where you're fighting one another. You grab the cane off of a stick that's been laid on top of the ring rope or hanging in the air and then you can use it. No. This is about getting someone over. This is about saying that if the person's not over, that they're not considered tough enough or to be believable as a face. You use this match to be able to get them over by having the opponent say, "You're nothing but a bitch. You don't got the guts to do anything." You make the other person who you really want to get over, who really isn't over generally because maybe their personality is just not enough or people are just not feeling them. You make them look like bitches. And then you come to this point where you have the bad guy, the heel, make it very clear over the next couple of weeks or a month or so, maybe two. Stretch it out a little bit and say, "You're nothing but a damn bitch." It can be a male or a female. It can be a woman doing this too. And you can clearly say that you don't got the freaking guts to do it. You don't have nothing. And then they bring up this match that Tommy and Sandman pioneered, that no one has ever been able to reproduce because no one wants to go there and say that a person's a total bitch, no matter if they're a man or woman, and to really show how tough they are, they have to go for a match where they have to take 10 hits from a Singapore cane, or in this case, a kendo stick. It is how it's supposed to be. We're supposed to get people over in a way that will make the fans believe in them, not just because they're great wrestlers and going in the ring, or they're great talkers, but to have a personality, a charisma that can get people over, to show how tough they are, to show that they can be believed in. This is what's missing in pro wrestling. Yes, you need real amateur wrestling in some points. Some people are great amateur wrestlers. Others, great charisma. They need to be over with great charisma or a great look. Hell, they can be incredible in the ring, but sometimes they just can't get over. And you need something to help them to really connect with the fans. And this is a match that no one has ever produced properly because no one ever wanted to go there. Not because they don't want to be related to an actual incident in Singapore where an American did something stupid and he got 10 hits from a Singapore cane. In other words, a kendo stick, a real kendo stick, not the ones they use in WWE, but an actual kendo stick where you practice kempo, where those things are very hard, very painful, and will cut the shit out of you. That's how dangerous they are. That's the reason when you see people who do kempo, they have to cover themselves very thoroughly because those sticks will cut the crap out of you badly. And they're solid and they hurt. What they use in WWE is pale in comparison, even though they cut you up. So this is a true match that people need to understand really could get a person over. But this is just what I believe, and I hope you enjoyed this possible first episode of Retro Wrestling Reviews. I'm trying to do the Eli Drake because I heard how Eli on SmackDown has now changed his name from LA Knight to something else. Why Vince? He has exactly what you want. He's a thick-ass guy that got this. He got personality out of the ass. He also can wrestle pretty damn good. He just has charisma out of his ass. And Vince changes his name, and there's a good chance he's going to get his ass thrown out of the damn place because Vince is just going to get damn tired of him, even though he has everything that I've been talking about since 2014 to 13. I have been an Eli Drake fan, and I've said this on my channel. If anyone's seen me for nearly 10 years, you guys know I've talked about Eli being an untapped talent, that he was great. The only thing that was a problem was he wasn't a ring general. He has become a ring general. He is that damn good, and it's sad that Vince just doesn't see it. Peace!